Hi, welcome to Sweet Dreams Wellness Travel. I am Barbara Tuckett, your host, and the owner of Sweet Dreams Travel. I am a wellness travel specialist. I believe that our mind, body, and spirit all play into our well-being, and I create travel experiences which improve your wellness so that you return from your vacation with more health, more happiness, and more connection, both with those you've traveled with and also with your destination. In these episodes, I explore travel and wellness experiences, giving you ideas and recommendations, and also interviewing people who have firsthand experience of the places where you may want to go next. Welcome, let's get started. Hi, and welcome. Today I get to talk to my good friend, Marie Schenk, and she just got back from her vacation to Orlando with her family. Hi, Marie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. So it's so good to be able to talk to you about this. I know people are excited to find out what it's like to travel right now and going different places. So Orlando should be a great destination to find out about.
Yeah.
So first of all, just my first question, since I'm a wellness travel specialist, I just was wondering, what aspect of wellness do you think that this trip kind of covered for you? What do you think?
So we definitely walked a ton, a lot. My son said we averaged about 25,000 steps a day. So we walked probably more than most people because,
Crazy.
but that for sure. And then, I don't know, we kind of packed food and water with us because we didn't want to eat, the junk all day. I mean, of course we did, but.
Right. Of course you do.
We were still able to bring stuff and be somewhat, bring grapes and things that were better, but definitely the walking for sure is the wellness part of that.
Yes. And did you get good sleep?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. Like there were some nights we would get back to the hotel at like 9 or 10 and like Megan would just put herself to bed. I mean, she was done.
She's your little one. All right. So let's talk about the backup and talk about the planning process. Start there. Who were you going with? What was it for? Like what kind of trip did you want to have? Like, let's just start there.
Okay, we just wanted to have a fun family vacation. We had planned something last year over spring break, and of course it fell through. So we just wanted to go do something fun as a family. So just the five of us and just to go have fun together.
That's
explore
great.
New parts of the world.
Yep. So. And had you been to Orlando before, or was this
Nope. Okay. First time. We'd never been to Florida at all. So
okay. So just a whole fun new adventure for you. So
yes.
And you've got 3 kids. Tell us how old they are.
14, 11, and 9. Okay. 8. She's 8.
Okay. So perfect ages to get to go do all of the Disney, Universal, all of that stuff. So
yep.
Yeah, super fun. Okay. So what about the flights? How early did you get to the airport? What was that like? Talk about maybe on the flights, different experiences that you had when you were there.
So it wasn't as busy as we thought it would be. Of course you have to wait in security and everything, and they've got like it marked off, so you have to stay 6 feet apart from everyone. But security went pretty fast. I didn't think there was as many people as we had. We've traveled before, and there was not nearly as many people.
And even for spring break, because you were going spring break time, so you would think that would be crowded, but wasn't.
Yeah, I thought there would be more people. We probably got there 2 hours early, like you're supposed to, but we got right through and had lots of time to wait. On the plane, it was kind of nice because they still had the middle seat booked out. So I felt like we had a lot more space, and the plane wasn't, of course we flew the red eye, so that was interesting too, but there really wasn't as many people on the plane as I would imagine. It was a lot more comfortable. I felt like we had room to
spread out and
it wasn't as stressful as it, because usually you're like crammed in there and there's so many people, and it really wasn't. Like it was pretty fun. So
okay. And how was it wearing your masks that whole time, like through the airport and through the whole flight and all of that? Was everybody okay with that?
Yeah, well, we're pretty used to it because we wear them at school, and so the kids were fine with it. It was fine, and people around us were fine and all doing it, and
yeah. So
it was fine.
Not a big struggle. It was fine.
No, it was fine.
Okay. All right. So then picking up the car rental, did that go okay? Were there any glitches or anything that happened there? It was fine.
Nope, that was super easy. It worked just like it normally does. We just picked out the car and off we went. So
okay. And obviously on the flights, they talk about how, they're sanitizing and all of that stuff. Did they give you any snacks or anything like that, or they're still snack free?
No, they did. And actually, as we got on, they gave us an alcohol wipe so we could wipe down our seats and everything around us. And then they came around and got it. They did bring like a pre-packaged bag that had like a water and the same kind of snacks they always do, like the cookie and the crackers or nuts with a napkin, and it had another wet wipe. Mm-hmm. So they just, instead of asking what you wanted, they just gave everyone the same packet of stuff. So.
And they didn't do like the beverage service at all. They just gave you the water bottle.
Yep. You just got like a little water bottle and we ended up changing flights. And so on both flights we got, it was the same for both.
Same thing. Both. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Sounds good. And then did you notice anything? Do you think there's any different or new COVID things going on with car rentals? Did they say anything, or did they have anything? I'm sure they were probably masked when you picked up the car, all of that. But
they were. And again, they gave us like some cleaner, but they had said they'd sanitize the car, and it didn't seem like anything else was different.
Nothing
about
like
that.
super different or super unusual, but they did talk about like how they sanitized it and everything. So
yeah, they just told us they had it sanitized, but they had given us some wipes, so if we wanted to wipe everything down again, we could. And
that's great. That's
pretty
great.
easy.
Makes you feel nice and comfortable and like, okay, we're good. We're taken care of, right?
yeah, but still normal at the same time. Like it's still the same thing, so it was good.
So that is good. So you don't feel like you're too out of your comfort zone. Just being there. Okay, so moving on, let's talk about, after you got there, kind of the whole, what you did while you were there.
Well, we went to Universal Studios.
Mm-hmm. And how many days did you get at Universal?
Just one. We just did one day there.
Okay.
And it was interesting. There were a lot of people there. They were restricting how many people, but it felt like, and I didn't realize this till after we went to Disney, but it felt like, go out. Hold on one second.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's life. It's just what happens.
I know.
It's life.
Tell them I'm doing this and give me a minute. And
yep, it's okay. It's okay.
Anyway, it felt like there were more people at Universal than there were at the Disney World parks, but it was super fun though. We had a lot of fun. They still had, they had lines everywhere, of course, had a line, but they had stuff on the ground so you could stand, stand here. And so everyone was like 6 feet apart from everyone.
Really distanced with the lines.
Yeah. We kind of liked it because you didn't get crammed on the ride with so many people. It was kind of just your family got to go in one car, or they didn't.
Nice.
Because we had an odd number of travelers, and so I feel like usually they try and put one extra person with your single rider, and that didn't happen this time. So that was kind of nice.
That's good. Were the lines at Universal, were they super long? Did you have big waits?
No, because we looked at their app, of course. We downloaded their app and it tells you how long the wait times are. So we just kind of watched that. But I think the longest we waited was like 45 minutes in a line. Like they weren't terrible.
That's not bad. Yeah.
No.
That's not bad at all. And which park did you go to at Universal? What kind of?
Just the main one, like the one that has Harry Potter. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah. Okay. And did you you got to do pretty much everything that you wanted to that day?
Yep. We rode everything, did everything. It was perfect.
Good. That's great. Okay. So that was the first day. Yeah. Let's take a break for a second and talk about the hotel where you stayed.
Okay.
called the Lake Buena Vista Suites, and let's talk about that. So tell us.
Yeah, and actually they were closed for renovations, so we stayed next door at the other place, but it was the same. They said the same rooms and everything.
Sister
and
property.
Yeah, it was the same, so it was fine. It was actually really nice. It was super clean. They did require masks to be when you were in the hotel and to go to the restaurant and everything, just like every place does.
All the public places.
Right. Yeah, outside people were wearing masks unless they were at the pool, which is normal. You can't swim in a mask, so that was... But everything was really clean. It was busy, obviously, but it didn't feel overwhelming. Like we didn't have to wait at the restaurants for breakfast or anything. It was
good.
It was really nice.
Good. Yeah. So you liked the place where you stayed, and
yep.
The pool.
The one interesting thing is that we had to schedule housekeeping. Like they said, because of COVID, they weren't just going to come do it. So if you wanted new towels or you wanted them to clean it, you had to call and just let them know before 5 o'clock. But that was easy too. So
yeah. But that's just a different thing. I think a lot of hotels are doing that right now, just because they don't want people to feel like their privacy is invaded or anything like that. And so if you want stuff cleaned, or when I've stayed at hotels recently, we've had to put our trash outside the door so that they would empty the trash. Did you have to do that at all?
They didn't say anything. We just would take it down. So they had like big garbage cans right down the hall from us. And so we would just take it out ourselves.
Dump it. Yeah.
But we saw a lot of people had put towels like outside their door, and then in the mornings they would pick it up. So
you could switch them out that way too. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. And did you spend time at the pool there, or were you mostly out and about?
Yeah, mostly out and about. We went a couple times kind of after the park. The kids wanted to go swim, but usually we were tired, so we didn't.
Right. So worn out that you're like, okay, we're good.
We were just done.
Yes.
So a couple of times. It was a really nice pool. It was heated and warm, and they had chairs and towels down there, and it was good.
Good. Okay. So moving on, let's talk about Disney World, which is where you spent most of your time, was at the parks there. I guess to talk a little bit about the pre-experience, we had to go on and look at the calendar and make sure, because Disney has their own specific calendar, and you have to make sure which park is available on which day, so that before you buy your tickets, even at the very, very beginning, months in advance, you have to make sure that there's availability on the days you want to go, right?
Yes.
So we did that. So we had, you bought your tickets and we checked the calendar and everything, and then you have to actually book your park, right?
Yep.
Okay, so talk about that.
Yeah, it actually was really easy once I downloaded the app and put in the stuff, and I just chose which park we wanted which day, which was kind of hard only because we'd never been before.
Right.
So we did one of the parks twice. And when we first were looking at it, we weren't sure which park we would want to do twice, but we ended up choosing the Magical Kingdom, and it was good. So
good.
It was perfect. So,
and did you end up having a day in each park pretty much?
We did. We didn't go to Epcot. We just did the Magic Kingdom twice, but we did go to each park.
Okay.
The other 3. So.
All right. And how were the lines, and what was Disney like?
The lines were okay. A little bit longer than at Universal, but there was probably more people there, but I think because it's so big, it didn't feel like there was tons of people there. Like I've been to Disneyland before over spring break and during the summer, and sometimes it's so busy you can't even walk through. I mean, like there's so many crowds, and it wasn't like that at all. There wasn't, there was people. It was busy for sure, but it wasn't terrible. And I think the lines were long because they weren't packing the rides full. So it was more that they were leaving space in between, and only one group could go at a time. So I think it was longer that way. But at the same time, it was really nice when you did get to go on the ride, because
once it was your turn, it was more of a private experience rather than so cramped. everything.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess the lines probably would have been worse had there been more people there, but but again, they were limiting how many people. So
so that makes it better. All the way around. So were there any rides that you didn't get on that you wanted to?
Nope. We got on everything.
You're able to do everything. That's good.
Everything. Even at the Hollywood Studios, they have their Star Wars: The Rise of the Resistance, where you had to sign in before you could even ride it. You had to get on their virtual queue at a certain time, and we were able to do that, where I know a lot of people weren't.
Yeah. So. Yeah. A lot of people miss out on that because they can't get on at the right time or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but we were able to do everything. So I think that's the longest line we waited in was like 2 hours, but and there was only one that was like that, and it was at the Animal Kingdom for the Avatar ride.
Oh yeah.
So,
but worth it because
yeah. It was. And by the time we got there, it was really fun. But that was kind of the longest line. Most of them were half hour to an hour.
Oh, that's so great. That's amazing over spring break, really, to have that short of lines and not have to worry about that. Because right now they're not doing their fast pass normal system. And so I think it's kind of a trade-off because the lines aren't as long. So
yeah, it's been pretty nice. It was actually really, like I said, we've been to Disneyland and we've had to wait in super long lines with tons of crowds, and this wasn't really that bad.
Good. So, and what was your kids' and your family's favorite park or favorite ride?
Definitely the Avatar.
Okay.
So at each park they had like a favorite ride. They loved the Animal Kingdom, and it was so different from the other parks. So because it was so cool. Just a really cool place.
Yeah.
They probably loved Magic Kingdom the most.
Just because of the magic. Yeah.
They love it. They love the big rides, and it has more big roller coasters than the others do. So I don't know. They loved it.
Good. Yeah. It's fun. It's fun. And what would you say, since this is your first time at Disney World, what's your overall impression versus Disneyland? Which one do you like better, or what do you think?
They're both different. It's hard to say because Disneyland, I feel like, it's more convenient with like the hotels and everything is right there.
Right there.
And the parks are across the street from me. They're right there. And I just feel like everything's closer together. But at the same time, Disney World was so different and everything was spread apart and kind of more, I don't know, it's just very different.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
They both had really good qualities about them that it's hard to.
No, I know what you mean. It's the same, but it's so different too. Like it can be the same ride, but because it's a whole different setting, it's just different. So
yeah, it kind of felt more relaxing at Disney World just because we only did one park a day.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like we had all day to explore and go have fun and
just focus
take it easy.
That.
Where in Disneyland, I feel like it's always like so busy. We got to get here and our fast pass is here and this and this. And so I don't know. We love Disney World. So
yeah.
It's a good time.
It's a great place. Okay. So tell us, you did take a couple days in between to go to beaches.
We did.
Did you spend like 2 days at the beach or 3, or what did you fit in?
We did 2 days. So one of the days we drove to Cocoa Beach, which is on the Atlantic side. And that was really fun. We went on a Saturday. It was pretty busy, but we were still able to find our own space and get in the water just fine. And the kids loved it. The water is warmer than California, which is the only ocean they've been to. So
yeah.
We spent the whole day there hanging out and super fun.
Yeah.
And then we went to the park for 2 days and then went to the beach again, kind of take a break from walking in Disney. And this time we went to Clearwater Beach on the other side through Tampa. And that was amazing.
Because that's over on the Gulf side.
Yes.
So that's the opposite side.
It was beautiful. The kids didn't like it as much because there's not waves.
Okay. Right. It's very calm. Yeah.
Yes. So I don't know. And there seemed like there was more people on that side than the other side, which we were surprised because I don't know. I guess we were figuring it's a Tuesday but then we had to remember it was spring break and a lot more people are there.
Yeah.
But it was still really fun. The kids picked up seashells and still swam and the water was warm-ish. I mean, it was nice.
Really nice. Really relaxing. Yeah. And I think that's great that you went to 2 different beaches. And so you got to experience, a couple different things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's fun. Okay. So I think we're about ready to wrap up, but do you have any final thoughts, things you would have done differently or things you loved the way that you did it, or what kind of wrap up kind of things do you have?
I don't know. I think I loved the way we handled it. It was good. I think we would not take the red eye again because we did that because then we were like, oh, we'll have a whole extra day. Yeah. But we went right from the hotel to Universal Studios and we ended up leaving halfway through and had to go back and take a nap and kind of relax a little bit because we were exhausted. We were done. Yeah. And then we went back and had a lot of fun, but I think we would not do that part again. It seemed like the second flight where it was not overnight was much better. And
yeah, it was during the day when you're used to being awake. And
yeah, but I think that might be the only thing we would do differently. So is maybe just not fly overnight. We would just do an extra day. So just sleep and whatever. But everything else was great. I don't know. We planned it so we had a couple of days at the park and then a day off and a couple of days and time off. And it worked out really well for us. We loved it.
Awesome. That's awesome. So, well, great. Yeah. Thank you so much for talking to me about this. And if you have any recommendations or anything for people, you can say them now. Basically, maybe don't take the red eye and
and definitely I'm glad that you were able to help us. Like the hotel we stayed at was perfect. Like the location was really close to the park, but it was close to other things. And it was kind of like central to wherever we were going. So it's good to know that someone has been there before and could give good advice. So I'm thankful to you that you were able to help us with that because we had no idea.
Right. I've stayed at that hotel previously and I just think it's a great location. And were you able to, I forgot to ask, were you able to take their shuttle? Did they have their shuttle going?
They did have the shuttle, but it was like certain times and you had to sign up for it. And it didn't come back until it was coming back at 7:00 at night where we were like, well, the park's open till 9. And so we ended up just driving.
So it didn't really work great. Yeah.
No, I think probably they used to run more shuttles because I know like in Disneyland, it was like every 20 minutes there would be a shuttle. And so you could get on whenever. Right. And it probably used to be like that. But now I'm sure with COVID, it's.
Yeah. They've really, in fact, for a while, they didn't have shuttles at all. And then now they're kind of starting shuttles again, but they're just not up to speed.
We ended up just parking and it actually was fine because there's not as many people who are there. So it wasn't terrible to park there. I mean, plus then we could leave if we wanted to or
right.
Whatever. It gave us more flexibility than not. So, and parking was $25 for the day, which whatever.
Yeah.
But it wasn't terrible.
Right. And the nice thing, like you said, it gave you the flexibility that you could come and go and do.
Yeah. Whatever. And we did a couple of times, like one day it was cold. And so we went back to the hotel and dressed warmer and then came back and so it worked out fine.
Good.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for talking to me and for just sharing all of your experiences. It's been so fun to hear all about it. So
yeah, thank you.
Thanks for joining me today. If you've enjoyed this episode, please like, share, subscribe, or leave a review. If you'd like to contact me about a vacation, the best way is to visit my website, sweetdreamstravel.net. To connect on social media, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, or LinkedIn. See you next time.